these last 10 years, Chico grew 17%, which is like 17,000 more people.
Yeah.
We got 83 houses to choose
Yeah.
from, all this increase, and we have less than 100 houses on the market. All right, welcome everyone. I'm here with Derrick Sanderson, my business partner. We both work for eXp Realty, and we look at the numbers every week. We get together, and if you're in the housing market and you're either buying, selling, investing in real estate, good decisions come from good information.
Absolutely.
That's just it. And so this is what we're doing. We're pouring over the data. What is the market saying? It doesn't matter what our opinions are or what our emotions are. What matters is the numbers and the data, and extracting the narrative from these like stone cold facts, right?
Absolutely. We have to be grounded in data.
100%. So let's get into it. So we see here, first off, active listings.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. 83 active listings. These are single family homes on the market right now.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Man, that tells me that we don't have enough homes for people to buy.
100%.
The number is absolutely in the drain. It's the lowest number we've had going back at least 6 months.
At least 6 months. Yeah. Man, this feels like low, like years low. Yeah. But
absolutely.
That is crazy. And then we look at, 73 are under contract right now. So you got
correct.
83 that are active, 73 are pending. So when you look at if it's a buyer's or seller's market, you look at months supply of inventory. How long would it take to sell all these houses, if no new houses came on the market?
Yeah, if nothing came on the market in Chico, it would take us just over a month for those 83 homes to go pending, to actually go under contract, which is insanely low.
So it's probably about 1.2 months supply of inventory or so. 1.2 months supply of inventory. So when you're looking at months supply of inventory, anything less than 4 is a seller's market?
I would say that, yeah.
Yeah, and then 5 to 6, probably like a balanced. Yeah. And then 7, 8 is going to be a buyer's market.
Correct.
So we're sitting, according to the month supply of inventory, in basically kind of like an extreme seller's market.
Yeah,
is that what
absolutely.
You would say?
I would say that sellers absolutely have the control right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, because when you look at, and I have buyers and they're looking for a 5-bedroom house on a large lot, you start getting your buy box, what's like must-haves. I want a 3-bed, 2-bath in this neighborhood, and we have only 83. For every segment, for everything, you start realizing, oh, there's 2. There's 1, or there's 0 houses. I have buyers right now. There are 0 houses that check the boxes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just wrote an offer for clients yesterday, and I always pull comps before we write an offer. I had to go back 90 days just to find something comparable. And it was a different market 90 days ago. So even at that, there's not a lot of data to pick and choose from to determine value, even for buyers when we're writing offers.
Yeah, totally. So, and then we can see here, if we keep going, last 30 days recap, when we look at it, when you look at, supply and demand, right? So we have a low supply, and we have these high interest rates. We're 7% right now, average, roughly. It changes every day. So the price is continuing to creep up. It's not going down.
It's not. It's continuing to appreciate. If we take the last 30 days, the homes that sold, we actually had almost 30% more homes sell in the last 30 days than the same time last year.
Dang.
And what we're seeing is that median sales price is still going up.
Still going up. Obviously the factors that affect price are supply and demand. Yeah. And you see a lot of people rate locked. Like, we bought, thankfully, we know each other's story. 2020, we have, I think, sub 3% or right around 3% interest rates. And we don't want to sell our house.
No, I don't want to triple my payment just because of interest.
And there's a lot of people, probably 40-50% of the owners they have these really low rates still. And so they're not going to want to sell, which is going to stifle that inventory.
Correct.
Keeping the prices high.
Absolutely. Yeah, it almost artificially increases the price when we don't have those resale homes coming on. Because let's face it, we're not building enough homes. Okay. Otherwise, we would see prices kind of plateau, and we'd see a lot more availability on the market, and we just don't see it.
Yeah, and just politically, you look at Valley's Edge, you look at Stonegate, you look at these places where we've wanted to build new neighborhoods, because we need thousands of houses, especially when you look at, according to the census, 2010 to 2020, these last 10 years, Chico grew 17%, which is like 17,000 more people.
Yeah.
And here we go. We got 83 houses to choose from, all this increase. and we have less than 100 houses on the market.
Absolutely. And what's crazy is when you look at the different pricing segments of the market, there is a pricing segment that is just like explosions, arrows, alarms, and that's the $400,000 to $500,000 range. That is the most active and robust part of our housing market.
Yeah.
And the truth is, most of these buyers are first-time home buyers.
Yep.
That's the price they're looking at. They're looking $400,000 to $450,000.
Yep.
It's the highest area of competition. Half the homes that sold in the last 30 days were in that price range, which is just mind-boggling to me to think about.
Yeah, so when you look at that chart right there, there's obviously the 400,000 to 500,000 is this spike, multiple times more than basically any other. When you look at 20 sold houses, you look at 300,000 to 400,000. There's only 8, 5 to 600. There's 7, 6 to 7, 5. You really see that is the prime target for people in Chico buying houses.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what that means goes back to seller's market. Man, if you have a house that's going to fall in that range, there's no reason you shouldn't get an incredible offer and walk away with. I would say people in that range probably have more equity in their home than if they have a home that's worth over $1 million. Because the million plus range in Chico, none have sold in the last 30 days.
Dang, that is
so
intense.
There's just not that big of a demand. So even when we're talking market, like real estate's hyper local. So when I get asked, hey, how's the market? Well, that depends. What part of the market are you talking about? Because even in Chico, we have polar opposites of what's happening in the real estate market.
Yeah, so you look 400,000 to 500,000. How's the market? 400,000 to 500,000. 20 houses sold in the last 30 days. Over $1 million, zero.
Zilch.
Crazy. And that probably has to do with just the economy here, and interest rates are 7%. When you look at an interest rate on a $450,000 house and an interest rate payment for 7% on a $1.2 million house, those are wildly different numbers, multiplied more. So very interesting data right here. But we do see, I think we have 6 that are pending to 1 million to 1.5 or 2 really. So there's 6 total in that bracket over $1 million that are pending. So we may see some more close in the next 30 days.
We'll see a few close. But luxury market in Chico, I would say, is absolutely softened.
Gotta watch out for that.
So
very interesting.
I mean, if somebody's wanting to buy into the luxury market in Chico, honestly, this is probably the best time because homes are sitting longer. And if you've got the ability to make that move, and better yet, what if you have a home that's $400,000 to $500,000 in Chico? You can sell that, get a great number on that, and then be able to purchase a deal in a bigger house. I mean, if you're moving to that segment, man, you can get a great deal right now in Chico.
Yeah, and then you got to be careful though, because everyone says,
it's true.
Marry the house, date the rate. We've been saying that for 2 years, and it's like, when's this rate gonna, fall off and drop down? It's like, well, it looks like it might be a while because inflation.
Yeah, you got to know that you can afford the payment, honestly, for at least 2 years.
Yeah. Maybe 3, maybe 4. Okay, so what's the takeaway here, in your opinion? What do you see with all this data?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, inventory is low. It's driving prices. It's making it more unaffordable for people to actually even that first step, that first-time home buyer. Again, there's just not enough to pick from, and it's getting bid up in price. I have clients, you have clients that have gotten outbid that are first-time home buyers. So biggest takeaway, you got a house that you own in that range, reach out to your favorite agent, one of us, and just look at the numbers. Like, does it make sense? Because the demand in that segment is so massive right now. It actually would be, I think, financial fraud on your part to not think about selling your house, because you could walk away with a lot more money now than potentially even later. Just because of the demand.
You just got to figure out where you're gonna go.
It's true. It's true.
That's the hard part. Another thing that I'm seeing in all of this is that really we have a housing crisis. I would say, I think it's overused, that word, but it really is. When you're in the industry and you're working with people and they want this 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage house, you look at all the competition, the lack of supply. New people don't realize how important it is to build new, and it's such a contentious thing. But the only way that you could get more supply in the market with the house, the rate lock, people are not selling, is to build new neighborhoods, and that is such a contentious thing. We talk about traffic, we talk about all this stuff. These people, Chico increased 17% in the last 10 years, regardless. But it's like, do you want to plan for that growth or not? And then when you don't let the free market do what it does, you're going to get crazy stuff. Like unaffordable houses for the vast majority of the population.
Yeah. And not even houses, even rentals, because
Yeah.
that then increases demand on rental prices, which then increases rental prices. So it actually becomes more unaffordable
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, you just look at like San Francisco. I haven't built a new neighborhood there for who knows how long.
Decades.
Yeah, decades, and look at the prices versus a Texas where it's like you can get a mansion for 400,000
Yeah.
just because they build.
Absolutely. And even when we're talking about the building, it's got to make sense for a builder, right? They're providing a product. They still have to make some sort of money. It's an investment. And so when we have policy that makes it more expensive to build, then builders aren't going to build these more affordable houses because, again, they're a business. It doesn't financially make sense for them to do that. So even if we could also see public policy begin to change, to begin to lower that price for builders so that we can get more homes built in that specific segment of the market would do wonders.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening to this, you're a builder, you're a government official, you're a political person, $400,000 to $500,000. Like we need to build small entry level homes with
Absolutely.
a 2-car garage, a yard, 3 beds, 2 baths. That's what the majority of the market is saying they want.
Absolutely. That's where the demand is.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for looking into these numbers, and I hope this is helpful. And we'll see you next time. Thanks,
Sounds
Derrick,
good.
for being here.
Have a good one, Brent.
All right.